as opposed to JPEG, which is for the purpose of ease of sharing, right? Something like this, for example, right? We also have another image format, which is we have several image formats, right? So we're just touching on two here. One is JPEG, the other one is PNG, right? So you'll notice from the midterm that you were given a few images to work with, right? You have the ratio, the golden ratio, and rule of thirds. You also have these images: animal, tree, and map. Supposed map message. If I'm mistaken, it's African Peninsula or something, so I just change it a little bit, right? So it is advantageous to use these kinds of images where you don't have any background, right? Because then you can blend it in any kind of background and or layout that you already have. You can have it in front or at the back and so on, right? Whereas if you do have a background, you have to add it further, which is the case with your first practical assessment. I think a lot of you actually use layer masking for that and so on, right? So sometimes when creating your final design, I figured you might want something like this, meaning you might create something like a label for a bottle or something, or Alvin yesterday was wanted to do something with regards to design on, aircraft. It has its wings and etc. So it's not really like a rectangular shape or square shape. So it has a particular shape which is arguably irregular as opposed to other uniform shapes such as circle or square and whatnot. So you might want to create something like this because your canvas, whatever tool you use, your canvas is always a rectangle or a square, right? I guess you can consider a square rectangle as well, right? So a rectangle or a square, it will never be these irregular shapes such as the shape of a wing of an aeroplane or anything like that, right? So what you can do is you can create a PNG file, meaning save it in PNG, which is why in your final you're required to do that. We'll have a look at the final again, right? So anyhow, these files are already uploaded to your this is the one with the rubric. Already uploaded to the LMS, so you can have a look at that, right? So in your final, you are required to save 3 original files, right? Meaning to say that a minimum of 1 should be XCF, the rest can be other formats. If you're using Photoshop, it might be PSD. If you're using Illustrator, it might be AI, and so on. Right? Correspondingly, you'll have 3 files, minimum 3 files, corresponding to the from A layer. So there will be minimum 3 files, which is identity, product, and marketing .png respectively, right? And yeah, this isn't really something that I feel like you'll be able to discover this on your own, but just in case, since I put this as a requirement, right? So if you don't know already, I would like to think that you do know because you know how to export as JPEG, right? If you don't know already, you can just go to File and Export, and then choose PNG, right, instead of JPEG. And when you do that, let's say for example you want it to be transparent, so you might want to use interlacing. Usually this is the setting I use. Actually you can try an error, right? Interlacing, and then I do not save background color, so I just export it just like that. Right? I'm not sure whether I actually need to check interlacing or not, but let's try it out. Let's see if if I don't choose interlacing, what happens. So okay, now I have this image. Let's have it. Let's use it in a different layout. Let's say for example I want to use it here. Right, so I have that, and I move it around. Right, so yeah, so same thing even if I don't choose the interlacing and whatnot, I will still have a transparent background. So now we know. Right. So anyhow, when you do not save as PNG, you will end up with something like this, meaning the background detail or background data will be preserved. Right. So you actually have a background now. This is JPEG file and this is a PNG file. Right. So now we are done with